life. Ladies and gentlemen, Mbarara City versus Express Football Club live here at the Kacheka Stadium. This promises to be a battle till the very death. A very good afternoon to you and welcome. And so in the sunny affair, in the early kickoff this afternoon on this beautiful Friday, it is Express Football Club, the Red Eagles with the Red Army descending in Kacheka, dressed in the red and black, taking on the all-white Ankolela
Shabena and of course Sebagala to come close each time they have possession.
This time the referee Henry Byaruhanga is running out of patience with the antics of the Red Eagles. This time, Daniel Shabena will be the culprit, caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Raised that foot way too high. And you have to... get away to the midfield here. Well controlled and almost losing it here, but still managing to retain. And now Agustin Gaddafi Kachanchu goes to the ground. Referee plays advantage. Eventually, the advantage is taken away and the referee pulls it back for the initial foul here on Kachanchu Gaddafi Agustin, who by his normal standards has not yet fully come into this game. We know him for being quite the cat among the pigeons. Tonight, still getting to terms with how he should influence this game.
Yeah, that is true. The thing is that Kachanchu has some real good flair and very good passing range, and he's yet to actually stamp his authority on the game.
Well, here comes the breakaway coming in from Joseph Akwanda Naho, and that's a risky challenge. You do not cut across a player in full flight. That will always get the referee's attention, and chances are high you will pay the price. And for the moment there, Najib Tusaba has to quickly come to terms with the do's and don'ts, especially in the big time.
Well, I think it's fortunate that it was his first foul, and the opponent, and that is Akwanana, who didn't go tumbling down on the ground. And of course, I think the referee seemed to have thought about giving him a card, and then he realized maybe the contact was not really substantial enough to get the opponent injured.
For the moment, it gives a free kick here to the Red Eagles going in for it. For the moment there, Mohamed Sekeba seems to be in two minds what to do with that ball. But mercifully, the danger passes without incident.
Whether they ended up relegated.
The intensity and concentration here on Mohamed Sekeba tells the entire story. It's a free kick here. It could get punished. And looks like it's going to be a forlorn attempt there coming in from George Senkaba. Not even on target. And he's quick to acknowledge his error.
I don't know, did you see the kind of position he took up as he was trying to take that free kick? It seemed like he was taking a goal kick, not a free kick.
In my opinion, well, the tax collectors still have a slim chance of getting back into the title pictures. But even more importantly, the Jogos, who are getting buoyant with the turn of form and need to find consistency, are definitely in that relegation picture.
Yes, of course, just as you're talking about that, Akanaho almost gave Express a lead, but referring to SUPL, they are not yet clear of that relegation zone, and that's why that game also comes in at a time that is very important for them. For the coach, I was having a chat with him. Consistent rhythm in the game. It's still a bit of a cat and mouse game.
Real stat about it, something that is coming into the box area, and the Bison Chitegenyi feels like he had the right to attend to that ball, and Walusimbi disagrees. For the moment, Otim is the man that is on the ground, writhing in pain. Chitegenyi protests his innocence, believes he had the right to go, and I probably would agree with him. Let's just have another replay.
The feeling is mutual, by the way, Jermaine. I don't understand why Walusimbi would try and condemn Chitegenyi.
And the cross is put into the danger area, plotting it out there. The central defender is in the box area looking to strike and pounce. And now the Bison, Chitegenyi, shows too much of the ball, and the final strike comes in from the overlapping, marauding centre-back. That should probably tell you what they do have on their agenda. It's 3 points and nothing less.
Well, they've done well there. If you look at the way they were exchanging the passes, the way they were opening up that Express defense, and the kind of pressure that they applied on the Express defense. I just don't understand what Enoch Sebagala was doing, dilly-dallying with the ball there right at the edge of this penalty area. And the final ball against on how he executed that as it went over the bar.
Ball crossed in, and there's nearly a flick in there, but the referee says that's a foul. And for the moment, Raymond Walugembe will not have any reason to celebrate here as the game does continue. No changes in personnel after 45 minutes. Still as they were is how they attempt to go about the second 45 minutes. And can it yield dividends for either of the two teams? Both will be hoping that can be answered with a definitive yes. For some of the other teams in the relegation area, they'll be hoping for a...
What failed to do was get the ball into control. He let the ball run past him, and once the ball goes past you, it makes it very difficult.
Well, Okwalinga is here once again. Okwalinga having the ball stuck at his feet, tries to work out a magic trick in here. But for the moment, Express managed to get away with it. And Chitegenyi should have taken advantage there to get the tap in. Instead, they let the ball go away. But once again, the talismanic skipper leading by example and pulling right from the front. You want to see more of that from your game leaders.
Well, I think one thing that Mbarara is showing now is that they have no reason to fear Express, and Okwalinga is showing that he can match the best that is in Express, and he's showing that kind by imposing himself and by trying to engineer some chances for his side. They just need to keep bouncing. They just need to keep the pressure on. And you think that with that kind of momentum,
Biamukama, Toki, as he prefers to call himself, trying to cross the ball in, that's cleared away, and a chance here for Ivan Mayanja. Cho. That would have been breathtaking there from the youngster. And for the moment, the Akole fans are saying, "Hi, Bambi." The young lad nearly punishing them there.
I'll tell you something, that kind of play coming in from Mbarara City doesn't suggest that these players really know that they're in a very, very deep hole, that they need to play better than they're doing. If you let that kind of opportunity fall to your opponents, and it clearly shows that you're not interested in survival, has no contribution. When things are not going well, that's when it comes up. He's not paid, he's not talked to the players well, and things of that kind.
Oh, well. It's a flamboyant title as well. CEO, Chief Executive Officer. 58 minutes of the game played. Mbarara City 0, Express Football Club 0. This is the Star Times Uganda Premier League. And of course, it's brought to you by Pilsner Lager, the official beer brand of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Stand tall, stride on. Your time is now. And for Mayanja, his time is beckoning closer and closer. Another
strike, actually.
Yeah.
So you can see clearly the message.
And Sieri tries to go for the overhead volley. And the referee calls for a substitution. Jasper Hewa came out for Sadati Nsubuga. And Sieri Gumaho coming in the place up front of Henry Musisi and nearly making an immediate impact, going for the overhead volley. But looks like he took away the ear of Sadiq Sejeb. That should be a very painful experience. What a monthly or a monthly subscription there, and automatically enjoy an upgrade to your bouquet on Star Times as Henry Chitegenyi gets the shot in but just flashes across goal. And that's not all. The Easter spirit will be upon us. That is on Star Times, as loads of prizes are to be won, including Easter hampers, school fees, and extra days of subscription. Reactivate your Star Times decoder today and enjoy a free upgrade plus extra days of subscription from Star Times, the official title sponsors of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Yeah, and pressure rises again for the Red Eagles.
Yeah, that is very true. But from Mbarara, you can see that they're trying to really force the issue there.
The ball in, and that looked like the ball touched an arm in there. And the player goes down, Seria Rigumaho. Referee says nothing to it. And now looking for a quick counter-attack. Biamukama turning the ball through in possession. Nice play coming in from Mayanja. Gets it out onto the wing. Here comes Sebagala. Sebagala in possession. Sebagala drifts away from one. Drifts away from a second one. Assessing options here. Clips it in. Looking for Mayanja. Tries to thread it in, but that's a bit heavy. And Akwanda Naho will not be happy with the output there. But very good stuff coming in. As Sadati Nsubuga is all over the place and now threads the ball in. Henry Chitegenyi in the possession, takes a shot, takes a deflection. Okwalinga took a second too late, and that was a saving tackle there. Split second later, and it would have been into the back of the net. Take a bow, John Biamukama Tohi. What a way to win a game. If they do, they will remember this man.
Well, the thing is that Biamukama John, that kind of performance and just shows you of a player who is actually working so hard.
We'll have to constantly watch that counter-attack, the spreading of the wings, and this man, Akwanda Naho, Joseph, spreads it through the center. Nice pass landing at the feet of Mayanja, who has to go for a 360 turn and find John Biamukama ever available and ready to help out, and now whips in a teasing cross. But Sekeba seems to have his bearings correct.
Well, that was not an easy one to take. I can tell you, Jermaine, any slight bounce there, and it would easily be a good counter-attack there for Mbarara. But you can see that if they secure the 3 points, it wouldn't be the list that they would deserve. They've looked the better side, they've looked more lively, and they've looked more fired up. What they need to do now is to ensure, because with the last minutes in this game, they need to make sure that they defend well. Otherwise, they need to make sure that they reduce these openings that Express seems to find on the counter.
Well, let's see how this is actually going to come through. All right. Well picked up here by Goalkeeper. Man in
end-to-end
14.
action, Jermaine.
Yeah. Moment, not a moment for you to breathe in
Exactly. We really need to catch our breath, and these teams are not allowing us, especially Mbarara. You can see that their lives depend on this one, and they're going for the jugular.
Going for the jugular, but for some reason, that knife is pretty blunt. The team that has scored the
second round game, and if you add the first round that they did not win their last first round game against Bright Stars, that will mean that 8 successively games without a win. That's not good form.
Well, if you look at the entire season, it's 17 points they've collected. 16 of those points have come here. Only 1 point has been picked up away from the Kacheka Stadium. That was a draw against Police Football Club.
Yeah, that is again a very not good. Not surprised would have been expected to in this second round.
Oh, there's a blunder, and Lucio has to clear the ball from the goal line, and it's headed over by the Bison. Daniso team is now furiously attacking the referee, and the referee says, "I will not take dissent." Our team is furious. The team is after him. It stands to question. The referee says, "Step aside and get your yellow card." Our team believes that he was attacked in there and should have been defended. Instead, I think he made a miscalculation with how he came out in there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Jermaine. I don't think that your team has any claim that he's not been protected, because he came in, and the forwards of Mbarara were trying to head the ball, and he came in and just mistimed the ball. So if he mistimes the ball by running into his opponent, then he cannot blame the referee. Bringing on, of course, Kakaire, an attacker, to try and push forward, try and get numbers up front, to try and see that they can get a goal.
Now miscommunication and a chance! Into the back of the net! Into the back of the net, but the referee calls it back here. Ooh la la. The Red Eagles cannot believe what's happening here. Referee points to a
Ooh. We need to see that.
Oh my word.
We need to see that again. It's the ref seems to have seen a foul before the completion of that move. We need to see that, and
a long ball was brought in.
No,
the
thing is that he bent over.
Yeah,
I think the referee is right there. It's not acceptable to bend over, and then I think the referee was right. We missed that one.
The pain in here. Tries to get the ball to Chitegenyi, but the ball is cleared away, and I'll try to host it in here. And that will be all that she writes in this particular game, as the referee, Henry Byaruhanga, brings this one to a close. At the end of the day, for those that called it that it would end as it started, seem to have this one